Hello, welcome to Epiphany number 42, Often Wrong and Never in Doubt. And what this means is it's about being confident in what you're doing so that you do a good job, and about not doubting yourself. It's not about being arrogant or this idea that whatever you say is right and you're always correct, though it kind of sounds like that. Because it's better to be confident and therefore do something and end up failing than it is being doubtful and then not even trying. In addition, so that's the first benefit, is that it basically gives you the psychological fortitude to go do what, prospect or give a presentation, or whether the case design is complex, or maybe the prospect you're talking to in your mind is, maybe it's a high end prospect, or maybe it's like your parents, or an uncle or a former employer, where you have a little bit of fear, right? So the confidence can help you overcome that to actually take action. The second advantage of this philosophy is that when you are presenting, is people do buy your vibe. They do buy into your confidence, and they can tell if you're nervous. I say our business is very similar sometimes to dating, or at least prospecting for dating, for both genders. And when you come across insecure, and sometimes the movies make it sound like it's kind of cute, and the person is a little bit shy, but in real life it doesn't work like that. And most of you've known that. You've probably been on both ends of that. Is if someone is confident, not arrogant, not cocky, not a jerk, but if someone is confident, then you're more likely to buy into them, so to speak, than if they're wishy-washy and they're not. And maybe that isn't fair. Maybe it shouldn't be that way, but it is that way. And when you're presenting your finished plan, you're presenting your proposal. It's the same thing. If you think clients just look at facts, and if you as the advisor have a better plan and better facts and a better strategy than the other advisor, and you think that alone is enough, it's not. And just look at yourself. Always put yourself in their shoes. Same thing for you when someone's trying to promote something to you or sell something to you, and especially if you have the opportunity to talk to two people. Maybe you're looking for an attorney, you're looking for a real estate agent, you're looking for an accountant, or you're buying a television, and you have the opportunity to talk to two different people about the same topic. In the extremes, yes, if one has a completely crappy, stupid strategy or proposal, and the other one has a great one, you're going to pick the great one. But most of the time, it's not the case. Most of the time, they're close to each other. Just like most of your competitors, most of your advisor competitors in this business from other companies, they don't have completely crap plans, and your plan is the most amazing ever. They're probably similar to what you're doing, right? They're probably similarly going to recommend the same kind of mutual fund, the same kind of tax strategy. And in that case, whether the client even knows it objectively and consciously or not, or admits it, your confidence and or maybe your lack of doubt will come across. And I'm telling you, many times when you take so much time and you explain concepts and you try to educate your clients about investing, oftentimes they forget what 30 minutes or a day or 2 days after you said it. They forget exactly. They couldn't repeat what you taught them, but they remember feeling confident in your confidence. They're thinking, I don't know exactly how this whole mutual funds and different stocks and the IRA, something with a bag, and I don't get it all, but I know that, man, when she explained it to me, it made sense to me at the time, and she sure seemed like she knows what she was talking about, and that she was confident. So that's what this principle is all about. It's not about implying that you're never wrong and you can't make a mistake, but it does mean that you should definitely feel confident in what you do. Um, to one, in summary, to number one, to actually get yourself to do it, and number two, to, when you are doing it, to get across this idea that this is the right plan, because they buy into your confidence. I'm telling you, Nick Murray has that expression, the messenger is the message, and that's where this comes into play. And I give you one last example about this. When I very first got this business, literally 30 years ago, September 1989, I was in primarily life insurance business at the time. And I was the kind of person that I wasn't bad at people skills, but I wasn't naturally great. I'm a naturally an introvert, which really a lot of people are. And so what I did was I learned all the scripts, literally word for word, even practicing how to present, how your hands should be and how to use the pen to point on the presentation, the flip chart. This is back when we used paper, and learned every single objection because I was afraid that I have to, wouldn't have the answer for something. It's a little bit of a mistake because it prevents you from actually getting work done, but I learned it pretty quick, a couple months, and I went out there. And here's what happened, though. Here was the benefit of that, is I was so confident in the presentation itself and able to handle every single question. And back then, I'm like an early 20s guy, still in college, and I'm talking to people that are, 10 years older than me at a minimum. But what happened is I got so confident that I was actually I was hoping for appointments, which is a good thing because I wasn't fearful of appointments anymore. And I actually deep inside kind of wanted people to give me objections. So all the objections I'd learned and that, I'd heard from my leaders and my trainers, hey, you got to learn this. I was almost in my mind hoping they'd give me more objections because, man, I knew how to handle it. Now, you got to be careful because, again, you get the paralysis of analysis. So if you take my story and you go, oh, that means I have to learn everything perfectly. The challenge with that is you'll never get off the ground. So you want to be careful you don't do that. But there is a lesson in there that however you have to get that confidence and that lack of doubt, get it. Because it'll help you take action. And when you are taking the action, it'll help you portray the idea that you're confident and therefore the plan or the strategy or whatever is the proper thing for them. So often wrong, never in doubt.